Hello friends, myself Harsha. I'm the founder and executive director at Sreshta for CA and CMA. And very recently, we even launched our another brand name, which is Sreshta Professional Courses. Uh, Everyone are asking for CMA inter classes. Almost I need to tell you, uh, in the past 8 months, we would have at least received more than 500 inquiries for CMA inter. And I'm very glad to announce from the Sreshta team, CMA inter classes from July 1st or 2nd week. By the way, this video is a marathon video for CMA inter law. And you know who is going to handle the CMA inter law marathon? My friend, DV Subramanyam Sir, who has recently joined our teams, rest of us CA and CMA. So DV Subramanyam Sir will deal with this entire CMA law marathon. Now in this particular session, mainly the focus is on directors topic. Now before I proceed further, you might immediately get a doubt. You might have got a doubt that so from when you are going to launch CMA Inter, are you going to launch even CMA Final as well? Yes, CMA Final is in our bucket list. I mean, it is in our to-do list. But first, we will launch CMA Inter, which will be latest by maximum July 2nd week. Actually, we are supposed to launch by June end itself, but unexpectedly CA new curriculum came, so we need to give priority for that. And immediately CMA Inter will be, coming. As I told, July 1st week or 2nd week, it will be coming for sure. Okay, and now the class on this particular, CMA Inter Law Marathon, the first session, getting it? Subramanyam sir will continue with from here. Okay, have a nice time. So I'll hand over to the sir.
Hi guys, myself DV Subramanyam. So welcome to Sreshta for CA and CMA courses, which is exclusively providing CA and CMA courses on digital platform. In this lecture, I cover Directors Marathon, Directors CMA Inter chapter. So CMA Inter students, so this is a marathon for you only. So Directors chapter. So sir, why Directors required, sir? Very simple. Company being an artificial person, it cannot act on its own. It requires some human agency and we name them as directors. So it is compulsory. Every company should have a director, human agency. Sir, who can act as a director, sir? Only a natural person. Only a natural person can act as a director. You can't appoint an artificial person as a director, right? So the very important chapter, my dear students, you can expect some 15 marks from this area. You can expect 15 marks from this area. So very important chapter, concentrate for the next 1.5 hour. So every company should have a director. And sir, who is a director, sir? By the way, who is the director, sir? So he's a person appointed to the board of the company. He's a person appointed to the board of the company. Then what is a board of directors, sir? What is meant by board, sir? So board or board of directors in relation to company is nothing but collective body of directors of the company. So collective body of the directors, board. Single person, who is a director? Person appointed to the board. Person appointed to the board. Next one, Section 149 subsection 1 of the Act provides that every company shall have a board of directors consisting of only individuals as directors. You can't appoint body corporate, you can't appoint artificial person as a director. Next, coming to the number of directors. Sir, how many directors we should have? So based on the company, one person company, minimum it should have one director. Private company, minimum two directors. Public company, minimum three directors. But a company may have maximum 15 directors. Of course, this limit can be increased by passing special resolution at members meeting and by making an alteration to articles of association. So minimum 1 in case of OPC, 2 in case of private and 3 in case of public. And remember, maximum 15 directors. So coming to the next topic, that is types of directors. See, I'm going according to the institute order. I'm not following my own order. I'm following institute order so that you feel comfortable while going through the institute study material. So coming to the types of directors, here comes our first director, woman director. There is no logic behind this concept. Simply women empowerment. Applicability. applicability. So this concept is not applicable to all the companies. See, concept director is applicable to all companies, whereas women director is applicable only to listed companies and unlisted public companies having paid up share capital 100 crores or more. See, I'm giving symbols greater than or equal to so that you won't get any confusion. Is it greater than or equal to? So you won't get such confusion. So follow my lecture concentrately. So listed company, every unlisted public company having paid up share capital 100 crores or more, every unlisted public company having turnover 300 crores or more. Sir, where we should get these numbers, sir? 100 crores, 300 crores, from where we should get it, sir? Books of accounts? No, as per latest audited financial statements, that too as on last date, that means 31st March of every year. Suppose we are in the year financial year 2022-23, 22-23. Now you need to check 31st March 2022 figures. As per latest audited financial statements, if your paid up share capital 100 crores or more or turnover 300 crores or more, then women director is applicable. So many students will get confusion like this. Suppose they will ask you a question like, A Limited, whose shares are trading on a recognized stock exchange NSE. A Limited, a listed stock company, its turnover is 10 crores, its paid up share capital is 2 crores. Tell me, women director concept applicable or not applicable? Take a small breath and answer me. Women director concept applicable or not applicable? Applicable. Why, sir? You should not check turnover, paid up share capital limits. These limits are applicable only to unlisted companies. Only unlisted companies. Here it is a listed company. Listed company immaterial. What is a paid up share capital? What is turnover? Immaterial. Are you all getting my points, my dear students? Next one. Next point. So note. Existing companies. Suppose this section was notified on 1st April 2014. So now companies are having a transition period of 6 months. So within 6 months from commencement of the act, they need to appoint women director. So board should have minimum one woman director. Sir, suppose if there is any casual vacancy, casual vacancy means what? Casual vacancy means what? Resignation by woman director, death of woman director, or disqualification of woman director. So in those cases, we call it as casual vacancy. Now that casual vacancy shall be filled by board of directors. So who will fill that? Who will fill that casual vacancy? Obviously, board of directors. By passing a board resolution, they will appoint a woman director, and tenure is till the conclusion of next AGM. The tenure of woman appointed in that position, in the position of casual vacancy, who got appointed shall continue to hold the position till the conclusion of upcoming annual general meeting. Then what is the time limit for filling up such casual vacancy? So what is the time limit for filling up such a casual vacancy? So first time limit is 3 months from vacancy or next board meeting, whichever is later. So he will confuse you like this, immediately. So in case of casual vacancy, immediately you need to appoint another woman as a director. He will confuse you, but don't worry. Immediate, word immediate is okay, but you should not take second meaning. The first meaning is latest day. No, it's not earlier day. It's a later day. It's a later day. Suppose 31st March 2022, women director position become vacant. Now within 3 months, that means by 30th June 2022 or next board meeting, you people already know that no time gap between two board meetings shall not exceed 120 days. Time gap between two board meetings shall not exceed 120 days. Suppose next board meeting date is 31st July 2022, whichever is later, that means 31st July 2022, you should appoint another woman as a director. So 3 months from the vacancy or the next board meeting, suppose the next board meeting is on 31st July, sir, 31st July. Or else suppose, sir, next board meeting would be 30th April 2022. Now, 30th June 2022 is the deadline for appointment of a woman director. So, once again, I'm telling you two limits: 3 months from vacancy or next board meeting, whichever is later. Whichever is later. So that is all about women director. Next one, resident director. Now, Companies Act 2013 is making a very important note point, that is, it is every company shall have minimum one, at least one resident director. So there is no nationality restriction. There is only restriction on residential status. So resident means what, sir? Period of stay should be at least 182 days during the preceding financial year. Suppose for the financial year 2022-23, whether he is a resident director or not, how can I check, sir? Very simple. 2022-23, you are checking whether he is a resident director or not. Go through 2021-22. For 2021-22, his period of stay is 182 days or more, then he's a resident. And he need not be Indian citizen. Even you can appoint Australian citizen as an Indian director. There is no bar on nationality. There is only bar on residential status. And once again, I'm telling you, all the directors should be resident. It's not like that. At least one director should be resident. One director should be resident. Next concept, next point, ma. Independent director, very important topic and very confused topic. So independent director, sir, when we can call a person as independent? So when he is decision making, when his decision making is unbiased, it is not subordinate to the decision of the others, then we can call a person as independent. And central government already notified an agency which will maintain the record of record of persons who are willing to or who are eligible to act as independent director, ma. So central government will maintain a database. Sorry, it's not central government. Central government will notify the agency. That agency will maintain. As of now, banking companies, banking agency is maintaining this database. This database will contain only persons who are willing to act as or who are willing to be appointed as independent directors. So if you want to act as independent director, just pay the fees and file an application to that agency. That agency, after verification, they will incorporate your details in the database. Now companies will go through the database, company will select few persons and company will appoint them. Now, obviously, approval from members is required for appointment of independent director. But applicability, so independent director is not applicable to all the companies. It is applicable only to the listed company. It is applicable only to the unlisted public company. That means, similar to the women director, independent directors concept is not applicable to private companies. So, independent director, it is applicable to listed company. Unlisted public company, paid up share capital 10 crores or more. Unlisted public company, turnover 100 crores or more. And listen carefully, outstanding loans, deposits, debentures exceeding 50 crores. It's not 50 crores or more, exceeding 50 crores. Sir, how many independent directors I should have, sir? How many independent directors? Very simple. If you are a listed company, 1/3 of board should be independent director. Suppose, sir, my company is having 12 directors, sir. My board of directors composition is 12, sir. Then 12 into 1/3, 4 directors should be independent. Sir, the resulting figure is natural per number. So we understand. Suppose if it is 11, sir. If it is 10, sir, very simple, 11 into 1/3, 10 into 1/3, that means you will get some 3.67, some 3.33. Once again, I'm telling you, at least 1/3 of the director should be independent, I'm calling. That means at least means greater than or equal to 1/3. In that case, don't say that in this case, sir, 3, sir, in this case, sir, 4, sir. Don't round it off to nearest number. Round it off to next number, next number. So 3.33, right? Now 4, it is not 3, 4. So next here also 4. So if your board is having 10 directors, out of 10, 4 should be independent. If your board is having 11, out of 11, 4 should be independent. If your board is having 12 directors, out of 12, 4 should be independent director. And independent director is not covered under retiring directors concept, rotational director, rotating director. In case of other companies, that means, unlisted public companies, only 2 directors sufficient. 2 directors sufficient. Role of independent director is very important in audit committee. And compliance, sir, what is the time limit for complying this section, sir? Same, 1 year from commencement of the act. In case of women director, it is 6 months from commencement of act. Here, 1 year from commencement of act. Again, you people will get a confusion. Sir, act commencement date is 29th September or 30th September or 30th August or 13th September. So many people think that it got notified, it got notified act got consent from president in the month of August and notified in official gazette in the month of August. And next one, some 98 sections were notified on 13 September. So these dates are not relevant. When that section was notified, commencement of act indicates when section was notified. From that date onwards, 1 year. You are having 1 year time period to comply this section. And this particular person should possess certain qualifications, and this qualification includes this qualification. So before appointing any person as a independent director, independent director, so the following qualifications he should possess. In the opinion of board of directors, that person should possess, integrity, relevant expertise, and he should have a prescribed experience, no time period. Expertise means, he should have experience or expertise knowledge in law, accounts, finance, no, core areas, core areas. Next one, I'm not talking about educational qualification, but I'm talking about his expertise and experience. Next one, he should not be a promoter of cash. Sir, what is this cash, sir? Site. That side I wrote cash means company, associate company, subsidiary company, holding company. And then DP means not your display profile. DP means director promoter. So he should not be a promoter of cash company, because promoter is a dependent. He depends on the company. I mean, his decisions, he will always think about the company. He will never act as an independent person. So any decision he take, he will think about the company. He will think about the company. That's why, he not independent. And he should not be a relative of director. He should not be a relative of promoter of again cash companies. My dear students, it's very important to remember all these points. Next one, he should not have any pecuniary relationship with cash companies plus director and promoter of our company. Pecuniary relationship means, simply, no material financial relationship. No material financial relationship. He should not have material financial relationship with 6 persons. Who are those 6 persons? Company, associate company, subsidiary company, holding company, director and promoter of our company. Not only current financial year, but also, last 2 preceding financial years. But we had an exception. That means he can take remuneration, or he can involve in any transaction with the company. The transaction amount should not exceed, that means, up to 10% of his total income. For example, I'm the consultant, I'm providing services to TCS. I'm a consultant providing some consultancy services to TCS. One day TCS board of directors approached me, sir, we want to appoint you as a independent director, sir. Okay, no problem, but I'm having relationship with the TCS. I'm getting some amount from TCS. If that amount is managerial remuneration, again no disqualification. But if that remuneration is other than managerial remuneration, maybe some amount, some transactions happen between me and TCS. Now total amount should not exceed 10% of my income. Suppose I'm getting consultancy income of 1 crore from all the companies in India. Out of this, if 20 lakhs I receive, if I receive 20 lakhs from TCS, I'm disqualified because my transaction with TCS is more than 10% of my income. Are you all getting my point, my dear students? Don't worry, this material you'll find under the description of this video. Don't worry. Don't try to copy it. First of all, try to listen to the classes. I'm once again telling there should be no financial relationship between me and the proposed company, or company and proposed candidate. Even if there is a relationship, it should be either managerial remuneration or transaction amount not exceeding 10% of the total income. So in exception cases, you are qualified. In general case, not qualified. I put heading qualification, but I started with no, not, no, not. Next one, none of whose relatives. That means, I'm the proposed candidate. You all know, Mr. V. I'm the proposed candidate. So TCS approached me to appoint me as a independent director. So TCS company, TCS. Now my relatives during the current financial year and the last 2 preceding financial years, that is 3 years, current year and last 2 years, my relatives should not hold So none. That means, negative. Should not hold any security if company is with the share capital. Interest if company without share capital in cash companies. See, I'm using the word security or interest. Security means, shares, debentures, bonds. Are you all getting my point? So company with the share capital, security. Without share capital, their ownership will be measured in terms of interest. So none of my relatives should hold any security, should hold any interest in cash companies, but there is a limit. There is a limit exceeding rupees 50 lakhs or 2% of paid up share capital. That means we relative, for example, my relative name, Mr. H, he is holding shares in TCS. Are face value how much? So face value 50,000, sir. Now, Mr. V qualified or disqualified, sir? Qualified. Qualified. Why? Array, the shareholding does not exceeding 50 lakhs, right? If it exceeds 50 lakhs, I'm disqualified. It is less than 50 lakhs, so there is no disqualification on Mr. V. Next one, my relatives should not be indebted to cash companies plus DP. So my relatives are not liable to company, associate company, subsidiary company, holding company, and then director of the company, promoter of the company, amount exceeding 50 lakhs. There is a point that, prescribed amount in study material. If you observe, there is a prescribed amount. Exceeding prescribed amount, you should not be a debtor. That means, my relative debtor to TCS amount to 1000 rupees, sir. Now I'm qualified, not disqualified. I'm qualified to act as independent director. Next one, my relative should not give any guarantee or should not provide any security for the loans obtained from again 6 persons: company, associate company, subsidiary company, holding company, and director of the company, promoter of the company. Next one, any other pecuniary transaction with cash companies. So here the point is materiality is very important. Sir, materiality means how much, sir? 2% of company's gross turnover or total income. That means there might be a relation, there might be a transaction relationship, financial relationship between my relative and company, but that relationship, if you sum of the all the amounts involved in the transactions, that amount should not cross, it should not cross, or it should not be 2% of the gross turnover, or more than 2% of the gross turnover. Neither he or any of his relatives. Next point, my dear students, next point. So don't worry, I'm taking you according to the study material only, institute study material. You can observe this, you can observe this. So none of whose relatives, I kept same heading because you will read this point, that's why I'm explaining. Neither he or his relatives, neither he or his relatives should not be a key managerial person or employee in the four companies last three preceding financial years. I repeat, last three preceding financial years. Generally, two past years, one current year, but here three past years. And neither me or my relatives should hold 2% or more of voting power of the companies. You can observe here, my dear students, in the company, see 2% or more of a total turnover, total voting power of the company. Wherever required, I wrote, cash or cash plus DP. Cash means four companies. For easy remembrance, I'm telling you. Next one, he should neither be CEO nor director of any non-profit organization which is receiving donations from these six people. If you sum up all the donations, it should not cross 25%. That means, ma'am, I'm running apart from my profession, I'm running a foundation for orphans, a foundation for old age people. So we foundation, and this V Foundation is getting donations from TCS, donations from Tata Sons, donations from Mr. Natarajan Chandrasekharan, executive director. So from these three people, we are receiving donations. Total donations of V Foundation during the year was 2 crores. Out of 2 crores, if I get more than 25% from these people or 25% from these people, that means if I receive 50 lakhs from Tata Sons holding company, TCS proposed company, and Natarajan Chandrasekharan sir, Mr. director of the, one of the director of the company. So total donations from these people, if my foundation is getting 25% or more of my donations, then I'm disqualified to act as a director. Are you all getting my point? See, I'm the CEO of V Foundation, or my relative is a CEO of V Foundation, and this V Foundation is getting donations from all over India, all over world. But the point is, total donations how much? Out of total donations, if this foundation is getting 25% or more from the 6 people, company, associate company, subsidiary company, holding company, director of the company, promoter of the company, then there arises a disqualification. And next one, so me, my relatives should not have any relationship with this company exceeding 10%, not exceeding, so 10% or more of gross turnover of the firm. I already wrote this point here itself. I already wrote this point, for second point. Under fourth, you had second exception similar to that, similarly. Sixth point, pecuniary transaction. Pecuniary transaction. Understood, my dear students? So here it is greater than or equal to 10%. There is less than or equal to 10%. Sir, there is a confusion, sir. Are you just see this point, ra? Exception, ra? This is exception. When you write to the main rule, definitely it comes like this. So you can observe here also 10% or more of the gross turnover of such firm. 10% or more of the gross turnover of the firm. Sorry, two separate points. So this is another situation, and that is one situation. You can observe it easily. But here it is less than or equal to, and here it is greater than or equal to. There is no confusion. Next one. Next one. Prescribed qualifications. Some other prescribed qualifications. So far, whatever qualifications prescribed, we had it. And last one, who possess such other qualifications as may be prescribed. Now, coming to the notes. So tenure, sir, how long he will act as an independent director, sir? 5 years. Sir, can we reappoint for one more term, sir? Yes, but for that reappointment requires special resolution. After that, you can't reappoint. You need to wait at least for 3 years. That means, here he got appointed in the year 2010. So 10 years, 10 years, 2019, 2019. 2019, 10 years completed. So 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 10 years completed. Now you need to wait for 3 years. 20, 21, 22, you should not appoint that person as independent director up to 2022. You can appoint him as independent director from the year 2023 onwards. So reappointment permitted. For reappointment, special resolution is required, and minimum cooling period, 3 years. Prohibition, that means during independent directorship, during the time period he is holding independent directorship, he should not be given any employee stock options. Employee stock options are strictly prohibited to independent director. And next one, he is eligible to take sitting fees. Sitting fees is nothing but fees paid by the company to the directors who ever attend to the board meetings or committee meetings. Okay, and then profit related commission is also permitted, but for this members approval required. So he can take two amounts. One is sitting fees for attending board meetings, committee meetings, and next one, he's entitled to some commission based on the profits, but for that members approval is required, so that his independence won't get affected. So in the entire independent director concept, qualifications plays a crucial role, my dear students. Next concept, coming to the next concept, nominee director. Nominee director. Very small concept. AOA authorization is the first prerequisite. Second one, board of directors by passing board resolution appoint any person who was nominated by any financial institution, or who was nominated under an agreement, or who was nominated by central government or state government, or in case government having certain holdings in our company. And in the general meeting, members will approve the appointment of the nominee director. So two conditions: AOA authorization, and second condition, board resolution for appointing the person nominated by any financial institution. Later, he will be ratified by his appointment shall be ratified by members in the general meeting. Next one, managing director, whole time director. I will come to these topics at the end of the chapter because these two directors are very important. Directors concepts are very important. So for the time being, whole time director means director who is in full time employment. Who is in full time employment. He is a full time employee and holding director designation. We call him as whole time director. Next one, very small concept, small shareholder director. So representing minority, if you appoint any person, we call him as small shareholder director. First of all, who is this small shareholder, sir? Who is this small shareholder? Small shareholder means he is holding a securities of a value up to 20,000 rupees. Face value of securities. I'm not talking about market value of securities. If you take TCS, one share face value is just 1 rupee. But coming to the market value, it was around 3,000 to 4,000. ITC face value 1 rupee, but market value some 290, 250 to 300 like that. So my dear students, I'm not talking about market value, I'm talking about face value. A shareholder who is holding face value of securities up to 20,000, we call him as small shareholder. And the small shareholders, 1,000 in number or 1/10 of total small shareholders, whichever is less, they can write a notice to the company. We need our representative in the board and we call him as small shareholder director. They will write letter, not less than 14 days prior to general meeting. I'm telling you, this is just optional concept. This is not mandatory concept. See, like independent director mandatory, woman director mandatory, but small shareholder director optional. Company may appoint. That too, this concept is applicable only to the listed companies. This concept is applicable only to the listed companies. I repeat, only listed companies may have, see, only listed company may have one director elected by small shareholders. It's purely optional, but it becomes compulsory when these people writing letter to the company. Our representative should be there in the board. Understood, ma? Concept, applicability, only listed company. Applicability, listed company. Listed company. Next one, ma, tenure. So that means, this notice should be signed by at least 1,000 number of small shareholders or 1/10 of total small shareholders, whichever is less, any condition satisfied, no problem. Any condition satisfied, no problem. Not less than 1,000 small shareholders or 1/10 of total number of small shareholders. Any condition satisfied, no problem. Greater than or equal to. Okay, don't worry, greater than or equal to. Next one, greater than or equal to 1/10 of total small shareholders. If they are signing that notice, now company has to appoint small shareholder director. His tenure 3 years. Independent director 5 years. Reappointment 5 years. Coming to the this concept, coming to the small shareholder director, tenure 3 years. Prohibition, he can hold small shareholder directorship in only one company at a time. Acting small shareholder director in TCS, acting small shareholder director in Reliance company, both at a time, prohibited only one time. And rotation not applicable. What is rotation? I'll come to you after a small moment. Next one, reappointment not applicable. No reappointment. Cooling period, that means he should not associate with the company either directly or indirectly for the next 3 years. Suppose 30th September 2022 he came out of the office. Now from here onwards 3 years, that means 30th September 2025 till 30th September 2025 he should not associate with the company, that directly or indirectly. Next one, disqualification. He should not be disqualified. So disqualified person, you should not appoint him as small shareholder director. So what is this disqualification? What is this reappointment? What is this rotation? I'll tell you, don't worry. Give me a small moment. Next concept, first director. Sir, who is the first director, sir? Sir, After getting director identification number for the first time, I'm becoming director, sir. First director, wrong answer. So first time I'm becoming director to the company, sir. The company ITC incorporated in 1910. For the first time I was appointed as director in the ITC. So first director, sir. Again wrong answer. Then who is the first director, sir? After incorporation of company, immediately persons taking charge of directorship, we call him as first director. We call him as first director. So persons named in articles of association. In articles of association, there is a regulation, there is a point with respect to board of directors. There, if you write name of X and Y, now X and Y shall be the first director. Sir, I forgot to write names in a articles of association, sir. Then all the subscribers will become directors. Don't worry. In subscribers, if there is any artificial person, like if you see holding company, subsidiary company, holding company, subsidiary company. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point, students? Holding company, subsidiary company. That means in subsidiary company, who is the subscriber? Holding company. So only individuals who are acting as subscribers, they will take position of the director, and we call them as first director. Sir, if all subscribers are artificial persons, sir, then artificial persons representatives who are signing that MOA, who are signing that AOA, those people will act as a director. Don't go beyond this. Suppose there are 100 subscribers are there, can I have 100 directors? It's illogical question, because no person will forget to write names in the articles of association. So persons named in articles of association, we call them as first directors. So upon incorporation, persons who are taking the charge, first director. Subsequent to first director, everyone is treated as subsequent director. Next one, additional director. Additional director. Suppose our company C Limited, is having 10 directors. Suddenly we got one more new project. Suddenly, unexpected, we got extra work, and we 10 directors are not sufficient to do that extra work. So now board of directors, after checking AOA, whether AOA permission there or not. See, company all internal matters are regulated by articles of association. So AOA authorization is must and should. So AOA authorization, and after that board resolution is very important. These two points are very important for appointing any person as additional director. But there is a restriction. You can appoint any person. You can appoint any person as an additional director except a person who fails to get appointed as a director in general meeting. Suppose, my dear students, D was nominated. D was nominated as a director in annual general meeting that was conducted on 30th September 2021. After completion of voting, what happened? After completion of voting, what happened? So votes in favor regarding appointment 8, votes against 92. Now tell me, ordinary resolution passed or not passed? Not passed, sir. That means G appointed or failed to get appointed? Failed to get appointed. Now, subsequently, on 30th November 2021, Board of Directors, by passing board resolution, they want to appoint Mr. D as additional director. Mr. D as additional director. Tell me, my dear students, permitted or not permitted? Not permitted. Not permitted. We should avoid him completely. I repeat, we should avoid him completely. That's why who fails to get appointed as a director in the annual general meeting or any general meeting, board should not appoint that person as a director, as an additional director. And what is the tenure of additional directors, sir? Actual date or due date, whichever is earlier. Actual date of AGM or due date of AGM, whichever is earlier, that is a tenure. Suppose in the upcoming general meeting, if he got appointed, now he will act as a original director. Okay. Next one, alternate director. See, in a C limited company, there are total 10 directors. One person going abroad for some reasons, health issues or some reason, he's leaving India for a period not less than 3 months. Now what happens, sir? Only 9 persons will operate the company. If they feel, it would be extra work, you're not having one person, so it creates additional burden. In that case, in the place of the person going abroad, board of directors, by passing board resolution, they will appoint another person as a alternate director. So alternate director in the place of original director, remember he can work only in one place. Suppose sir, I was already an alternate director. Now board wants to appoint me as and one more alternate director. Permissible or sir, not permissible. See, already I'm an alternative director. Alternate director. Just it's not substitute, but as long as Mr. Director is outside India, I will take the position of directorship. Once the original director come back to India, now I'll be relieved. Okay, so same conditions, AOI authorization, first foremost important condition, AOI authorization. Next, board recommendation is very, very important. Not recommendation, board resolution. I remember in CA final, an interesting question is like this. Mr. E, a director of the company, while leaving India, he appointed Mr. R as alternate director. Is this appointment valid or invalid, sir? Invalid. Sir, why invalid? Who can appoint alternate director? Only board of directors by passing board resolution. Then how Mr. E can appoint a alternate director, ma? I hope point is very clear. So, one director cannot appoint additional director. One director cannot appoint alternate director. It requires board approval. Board means collective group of directors. Director means person appointed to the board. Understood, my dear students? Understood? So who can appoint alternate director? Board, by passing board resolution. So what is the situation? Why we are appointing alternate director? Original director is leaving India. He's out of India for a period not less than 3 months. And tenure of alternate director is the tenure of original director or tenure return of original director to India, whichever is earlier. There is a maximum 10. For example, coming 30th September 2022, this original director is going to get terminated. Not terminated, his tenure comes to an end. And he is returning to India on 31st October 2022. Now, alternate director shall continue to hold the position till 30th September. 30th. Sir, if written is 30th July, sir, then tenure comes to an end by 30th July 2022. Next one, appointment of directors. Qualification. Primary qualification, he should have DIN, director identification number. So don't worry, I will link the topics, but I'm going according to the study material order. Once after completion of the topic, I will correlate the topics. Don't worry. So qualification, the primary qualification you should have DIN. It's not 10th class, it's not intermediate, it's not CA, it's not MTech, BTech. Just the director identification number. And you need to take a declaration that, sir, I'm not disqualified to act as a director in your company under Companies Act 2013. Once again, I'm telling you, so first thing, DIN. Second thing, I should give a declaration to the company. In the declaration, the point should be clear. That is, I'm not disqualified to act as a director in this company under this Companies Act 2013. So I'll give consent. No, it's not oral, it's in writing. Form number DIR2 with company. Now company shall file DIR12 with ROC within 30 days. Within how many days, ma? 30 days. Next one, ma, rotational directors. Very, very interesting topic. Rotational directors. This concept is applicable only to the public companies, so private companies not required. Once again, I'm telling you, it's not listed, unlisted. It is applicable to all public companies, so don't get worried. Independent director, listed or unlisted public. Women director, listed and unlisted public company. So rotational directors, public companies. Sir, what is meant by rotation, sir? Do you think people will rotate? Directors will rotate? No. See, if you appoint a single person for longest tenure, there is a chance that he may do fraud or he may do some error and he will try to cover it. So whenever you are changing the designate, whenever you are changing the positions or whenever you are changing the persons, there is a chance, there is a check on the person. That's what, rotational concept. So here, two-third of total directors, we call them as rotational. But two-third of total directors, directors excluding MD, whole-time director, independent director, small shareholder director, nominee director, these people are not rotational. These people won't come under rotational directors. These people won't come under rotational directors. So two-third of total directors excluding them, we call them as rotational. And out of rotational, one-third should retire at every AGM. At every AGM, how many should get retired? And one-third of two-third of total directors. One-third of two-third of total directors, or one-third of rotational directors. One-third of rotational directors. Of course, we had an opportunity. We had an opportunity. So we can continue them on the board by making reappointment. Simply ordinary resolution is sufficient. Huh? I'm talking about, director other than MD, whole-time director, independent director, small shareholder director, nominee director. I'm not talking about them. For independent director, reappointment requires special resolution. Okay, so we can continue them on the board. We can continue them on the board by passing a resolution in the general meeting. So if people think he's fit, then we will continue them. Or else appointment of a new director. Appointment of a new director. Sir, nothing happened, sir. Reappointment not happen, appointment of new director not happen. In that case, it is not, proper conclusion of AGM. The AGM got adjourned. If AGM got adjourned, then retiring directors automatically shall be reappointed, but subject to the conditions that retiring director should not be disqualified, that retiring director should not give any unwillingness letter to the company. Suppose, sir, I'm not interested to continue as a director in your company. Like that, he should not give any unwillingness letter to the company, and there should be no resolution to appoint another person in the place of retiring one. No resolution was placed to appoint another person, or no resolution was placed to remove existing director. Remove existing director. So this should not happen. This should not happen. So no resolution shall be placed to appoint another person in the place of retiring one. If these conditions are satisfied, then automatically retiring director shall be reappointed. Sir, you may get a doubt. Sir, suppose my company is having 9 directors. Out of 9, suppose two-third, I call them as rotational directors, 6. Out of 6, one-third we should, I'm telling you, retirement by rotation. So one-third of 6 means 2. Two-third of total directors, rotational. One-third of rotational directors should retire every year at AGM. Now the point is, two-third of directors, 6 okay. Out of 6, 2 should retire. Which 2, sir? No, who 2 people, sir? Who are those 2 people, sir? Very simple. Persons having longest tenure. Sir, everyone got appointed at one point of time, sir. Everyone is having same experience, sir. Then, conduct a lot system. Draw 2 names. So those 2 names, they should retire by rotation. Of course, they're having one more option to serve as a director if they got reappointed in the annual general meeting. Is it clear, my dear students? Next, very small thing. So these people should not possess these disqualifications. Of course, I repeat this point under disqualifications, but once we'll see the points. Failure to file financial returns or annual returns of the company for the 3 consecutive financial years, or if companies fail to repay deposits, debentures, interest on deposits, interest on debentures, and declared a dividend, and if the due period is 1 year or more, then all the directors of the company are said to be disqualified, and they cannot act as a director for the next 5 years. That means, it's a ban period, 5 years ban. I'll get back these disqualifications once again when I discuss disqualifications. For the time being, we are following this study material order, so don't get confused. So with this, I conclude. So take a break. In the next lecture, I'll cover the remaining topic. Have a nice day. Bye bye.